Hey everyone, PenguinSal here. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying these gameplay review videos, so we're gonna keep going at this. Today we're gonna be talking about one of the iconic indie games of all time, Slay the Spire. I'll just say, I'll get it out of the way right now, I think this is one of the all-time greatest games ever made. I think it's a genuine 10 out of 10 game, and I don't give that out very often. I think most games have flaws. This one doesn't. I think this is a genuine article. I think this is one of the great games that's ever been made. I think one of the reasons why that is so obvious to me is that there's just so many games coming out that are essentially clones of this, or at least take so many ideas that were crafted and perfected in Slay the Spire, and then it's just never able to live up to the hype of this game. It's so hard for any of these games to match with Slay the Spire. Practically invented and crafted in a genre in this deck builder roguelike scene. I mean, you see it from the way they do energy, the way they do attack and block, the way that they do the map layout for these things with the random events. I mean, pretty much every roguelike game now has this map system that Slay the Spire really invented and perfected. You pick one of four characters, the Ironclad, the Silent, the Watcher, or the Defect, and you go through and you build up your deck through various cards that you can get through shops or defeating enemy combats. You can get relics at shops and defeating elites that give you special passive abilities throughout the game. I think one of the things that this game just does so well is there's just so many different builds that work. Each character feels so different from one another. The Ironclad, you can go Juggernaut build, you can go Exhaust build with Corruption, you can go Pure Strength. And that's just the first character that you play the game as. And then each of the four characters just has so many different things that work for them. So many synergies and great cards. And cards that seem like they have no value. But then you find something to pair them with and it just absolutely pops off. There's a lot of different enemies and different status effects and different bosses. And so many random events and relics. And it seems like you have to play this game for 100 hours to see everything that it has to offer. And then there's the fact that it has such an active mod community that, I mean, there's like an official mod for it. And like, there's so many different things to see when you play this game. I think the card combat just feels so much smoother than so many of these games that came after it. And that everything you do just seems so deliberate and like nothing is random in this game. Like, everything is strategy and planned out. I genuinely think this is one of the great games that's ever been made. I think the first time I played it, I beat the run with the Ironclad in my first run, and I was hooked on it. I think every time you play it, it just seems like there's a different combination you can do of different cards you can add in and different relics that just, I feel like you see something new every time. Like I said, I think this is a genuine 10 out of 10 game. And I don't think that's an easy score to get. I'm pretty critical in that sense of a lot of games. But when this is essentially the grandfather of a genre that has so many games now, and some really good ones, it just seems like nothing can really scrape what Slay the Spire seemed to accomplish. And, you know, I could talk up this game all day long. I've watched so many countless hours of gameplay in this to see different types of runs that people try out and different challenges that they do, because there's daily challenges in this game and there's all sorts of different things you can do in it. But I think to really understand how good this game is, you just have to give it a shot for yourself. If you're a big indie fan, there's a good chance you played Slay the Spire already. Like I said, this is really one of the true pillars of like the indie game community and really just set the foundation for so many games that have came after it. But if you haven't tried it yet, I don't think I could recommend a game stronger than I recommend this game. It's so interesting. I think like I said, I was hooked the first time I played it, and I just think it's one of those things you have to experience it for yourself, even if you don't necessarily love the idea of, you know, a roguelike deck builder. This is really the game that brought that genre into the light, and in my opinion, perfected it. I have not seen any of the other ones, even ones that I really like, even come close to accomplishing what Slay the Spire has been able to accomplish. I said each of the four characters feels so different. There's so many relics and events and different bosses that it's sometimes tough to know if you're going to win a run until you either do or you don't. Now, I won't give away anything that happens later in the game, but there are some things that happen later to make it tougher. There is a ascension system that is essentially increased difficulty. It's essentially New Game Plus over and over and over. That's a thing you can grind. You can grind it with each of the different 4 characters. Like I said, if you haven't checked this game out, I could not recommend this higher. It's what I believe to be one of the greatest games ever made. So, don't have to take it from me. You can just try it out for yourself. There is a link for it in the description of this video for its Steam page. If you like what you saw here, feel free to give me a like. Leave a comment and tell me who's your favorite character. My favorite character is the Ironclad. I'll tell you straight up. I was hooked on that character from the first run. When I beat the game in the first run, I had so much fun with it. I would say the Ironclad is my favorite character. I'm curious what yours is. Also, if you have any ideas for indie games you'd like for me to review, feel free to let me know. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I know I say it every time, but it really would help the channel grow. More people subscribing would allow us to make more content like this, and I hope you guys have been enjoying this. I've been enjoying making them, especially when I get to talk about a game like this. And I know I'm just gushing over it, but I genuinely mean everything I've said about this game. I would check it out. If you haven't checked it out, go for it. If you want to connect with me, I have links to my social media accounts down in the description. And I appreciate you guys watching this, and I will catch you all soon.